The Lankavatara Sutra, translation by Red Pine. Chapter 1, King Ravana's Request. Thus have I heard. Once the Bhagavan was staying in the South Seas on the peaks of Lanka, in a place adorned by countless jewels and flowers. In addition to an assembly of great monks, he was also joined by a host of great bodhisattvas from other Buddha lands. Led by Mahamati Bodhisattva Mahasattva, they were masters of every kind of samadhi, spiritual power, and psychic ability, and were the recipients of the blessings of countless Buddhas. Skilled in the knowledge that external objects are perceptions of one's own mind, they had opened doors of liberation for beings of every mental and physical capacity, and were thoroughly versed in the 5 dharmas, the modes of reality, the forms of consciousness, and the 2 kinds of no-self. At that time, the Bhagavan had been expounding the Dharma for 7 days in the palace of Sagara, the Serpent King. Upon reappearing, he was welcomed by Shakra and Brahma and a host of serpent maidens. Lifting his eyes and beholding Lanka's Mount Malaya, he smiled and said, "On Lanka's Mount Malaya, the Tathagatas, the Arhats, the fully enlightened ones of the past, have taught the self-realization of Buddha knowledge, which is beyond the comprehension of Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, or the mistaken knowledge of followers of other paths. Today, for the sake of Ravana, ruler of the Yakshas, I, too, will teach this teaching." By the power of the Tathagata, King Ravana heard these words of the Buddha, and knew that the Bhagavan had reappeared from the Serpent King's palace, accompanied by Shakra and Brahma and countless serpent maidens. And he saw the thoughts of those in that assembly, stirred by the wind of externality and rising like so many waves in the oceans of their repository consciousness. Ravana shouted joyfully, "I will go and invite the Bhagavan to Lanka for the lasting happiness and welfare of humans and devas." King Ravana then mounted his flower-decked chariot and, with his royal retinue, went to see the Buddha. Upon arriving, they all dismounted and walked around the Bhagavan 3 times from left to right. Meanwhile, the king's musicians strummed lutes inlaid with aquamarine, using picks of the bluest sapphire. Then, hanging them at their sides from straps of the costliest cloth, they sang gathas in praise of the Buddha according to the Grama and Mochana modes, and in the Kaishika melodic style, accompanied by a chorus of flutes.
To the Dharma treasury of the self-existent mind, free from defilement or belief in a self, may the Buddha teach us the path to the knowledge found within ourselves. In his body of perfected merit, displaying the transformed and transforming, the joy of self-realization, may the Buddha come to Lanka today. Buddhas of the past have appeared in Lanka, accompanied by bodhisattvas of countless forms. Pray honour us with the peerless Dharma. Every yaksha is hoping to hear.
Ravana, king of the Yakshas, then sang gathas in the Tathaka meter.
After 7 nights the Buddha has risen, from the sea where leviathans dwell, from the palace of the Serpent King Sagara. Happily he has come to this shore. And now that the Buddha has risen, I have come with my Apsara queen, with Shuka and Sarana, with yakshas and learned men. Conveyed before the Buddha by an unseen force, we dismount our flower-decked carts and bow, present our names and offerings, and hope for the Bhagavan's blessing. I am Ravana who comes before you, the 10-headed king of the Yakshas. May the Buddha favour this Lanka of mine, and all who dwell in its towns. Buddhas of the past within its cities, upon its jewel-strewn peaks, spoke of what they themselves attained, the realm of self-realization. May the Bhagavan do so as well, together with these sons of victors. The residents of Lanka and I would listen to his teaching of the purest Dharma. To the Lankavatara, praised by past Buddhas, to what they themselves attained, the realm of self-realization, unknown among other schools. I recall in previous ages, Buddhas accompanied by sons of victors, recited this sutra out loud. May the Bhagavan do so today. Buddhas in the future and the sons of victors, they too will pity this Yaksha assembly. They too will ascend this jewel-decked summit and teach this profoundest of teachings. The city of Lanka is a city of wonders, adorned with every known jewel, surrounded by lovely cool peaks, and shaded by canopies of pearls. The Yakshas present today, Bhagavan, have transcended desire and anger. They have honoured Buddhas and looked within, and have urged each other to turn to the Mahayana. Yaksha boys and girls as well thirst to hear the Mahayana, to the city of Lanka on Mount Malaya. Bhagavan, come be our teacher. Kumbhakarna and his Rakshasas, they also dwell in this city. Devotees of the Mahayana, they too would learn about self-realization. Having honoured Buddhas with devotion in the past, they hope to do so again. Out of compassion, please come. Come with these sons of victors to Lanka. Mahamuni, accept my palace, together with its Apsara host, my crown and necklaces too, and my delightful Ashoka groves. All I possess I give to the Buddha, and to these sons of victors. There is nothing I would not give. Mahamuni, have compassion on me. To this, the Lord of the Three Realms replied, Ruler of the Yakshas, to this jewelled peak, the teachers of the past have come. Out of compassion for you, they have taught the way of self-realization, and on this jewel-adorned peak, so shall they teach in the future. For this is where practitioners dwell, who delight in that which is present. King of the Yakshas, you have known the compassion of Sugatas, and now shall know mine. Accepting this invitation, the Bhagavan stood without speaking. Ravana then offered his chariot of flowers, which the Buddha mounted and rode inside. With his retinue, Ravana followed, along with the Bodhisattvas. As the Buddha advanced towards the city, Apsaras sang and danced in his honour. Once the Buddha had passed through its gates, to the reverent bows of the Yaksha throng, joined by Ravana and the Yaksha men, and also the Yaksha women. A group of Yaksha boys and girls presented the Bhagavan with a net of pearls, while Ravana placed strands of jewels around the necks of the victor and the victor's sons. As the Buddha and the wise Bodhisattvas acknowledged these offerings of jewels, each in turn spoke in praise of the fathomless realm of self-realization. Then Ravana and the Yaksha throng, having honoured the best of teachers, asked and beseeched Mahamati, who was known for requesting the Dharma. You have asked the Buddha before concerning the realm of self-realization. We Yakshas and the Bodhisattvas present come before you with this request. You are the most eloquent speaker, a devoted practitioner too. Thus we sincerely beseech the Master to ask the Buddha for this teaching, free from the faults of other paths, of Pratyeka Buddhas and Shravakas, the immaculate teaching realized within, the teaching that leads to Buddhahood. The Buddha thereupon conjured mountains, peaks covered with jewels, beautiful scenes of every sort, adorned with countless gems. And on each jewel-covered peak, the Buddha could also be seen, and standing at his side, Ravana the Yaksha appeared. Also the entire assembly was visible on each summit, and in every land another Buddha was present. And together with the king of Lanka, its residents appeared as well, inside their conjured cities, gazing upon each other. Other things also appeared, the products of the Buddha's power, Ashoka groves and sunlit forests, and nothing in any way different. And Mahamati on each peak was asking on behalf of the Yaksha king for the teaching of self-realization, which the Buddhas spoke in countless voices. And after they had spoken, these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas vanished. Only Ravana the Yaksha remained, standing inside his palace. He wondered what really happened, who spoke just now and who listened, who saw and what was seen, and where did those cities and Buddhas go? Where did those cities go, those radiant Buddhas, those Sugatas? Were they a dream or an illusion, or were they the work of Gandharvas? Were they the result of cataract eyes, or was what I saw a mirage? Dream children of a barren woman, the smoke and flames from a wheel of fire. Such is the nature of things, the realm of nothing but mind. This is something the foolish don't know, bewildered by false projections. There is no seer or anything seen, no speaker or anything spoken. The appearance of Buddhas and also their teachings are merely what we imagine. Those who view such things as real, they don't see the Buddha, nor do those who imagine nothing, only those who transform their existence.